Okay. And there we go. Okay. Show six. Show six. You are JD Danner. I am Denise Warner, and everybody else is in the Whiskey Rock Lounge. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Boop to my cat.
Lounge. To the lounge.
Welcome to the lounge. Welcome to the lounge. We you got big stuff. Like, let's just jump in. You've got like big stuff.
Yeah, well, I was super excited that Judy and I, our video for Better Times Will Come project by Janice Ian finally got on the Janice Ian official project website. So
I got to take a little peek at that. First of all, it sounded really, really good. Like it was, you guys sound so good together. Second of all, the footage that you told me that you went around taking pictures when this whole pandemic thing started.
Yeah,
super powerful, man. Super powerful.
thanks. I think maybe I have a little journalist in me from just hanging around Joni.
Yeah.
Because she just takes pictures and documents everything. Even just taking a walk down, A1A every other, mile, there was a sign that said beach is closed and there was a cop car there. So even if you want to try to sneak on the beach, you couldn't. And someone from up in New York sent me the footage of the military when they were coming through New York City. That was real footage. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what an impact. That's great. Like tell everybody how they can find it, how they can see it, because that was super important.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put a link on all of my social media and my website, but if you want to go directly to it, bettertimeswillcome.com is the website for this project. And then you click on videos and you scroll down. We're about 7 down on the list. And you click on that, and each artist has their own page. And that gives you all the links to my social media, and it gives the link to the video, which is on Janice Ian's official YouTube page. So it has been on my YouTube page, but it was really so cool and so special to get invited to be part of this project, because when we entered, it wasn't a contest, it was just you submit, and it was for artists of all levels. So you didn't have to be famous, but in the beginning, it was only famous people, like mostly in the folk world, and friends of Janice Ian from the entertainment industry that were recording the song. So at first I didn't know it was just for everyone to do. So then I realized her intention was to include artists of all genres. And so it was just amazing how it happened. I mentioned last time on another podcast that it's been recorded in Japanese, Chinese, Italian, Spanish,
so cool.
Every Tagalog, which is the Filipino language, so many different languages and in different mediums, because it's not all been done in musically. Some people have done it in illustrations, like for cartoons, for a children's book. Some people did it as an art project with material, and they made art pages using different scraps of material. So it's just amazing what this took on, and there's over 200 versions now of this.
That's incredible. What it is too is like what is so endearing about the project itself is that it really is giving people a chance to express how they feel through whatever medium whatever medium they choose that they're most comfortable with, but also it kind of reflects how they're feeling about things,
Exactly.
Really cool thing.
What was great about Janice Ian's attitude is she felt like, for artists such as myself, that I'm not like famous, but I do have a following and I have a web page and other music. She makes sure she has links so people can find you to give you that platform. And by the time Judy and I entered, so many people had submitted that they were being really picky on who they chose. And now it's closed. Now you can free to do it on your own YouTube page, but they just had so many people submit that they had to cut it off. So when I got the email saying from Janice, Ian's assistant, saying, we haven't looked at your video yet, but I just want you to know we're being very picky now on who we can choose because we don't have enough room left we can't have everyone. So please don't be insulted or like basically feel bad if we don't pick you.
Right.
And right away I'm like, there it is, and then like within 2 hours, I got an email from her saying, this is so wonderful. I love the video. I love the way you girls did the music, which I have to give credit to Judy, came up with the arrangement. So anyway.
I got to give credit to Janice Ian because I think it's amazing to me how involved she was in this project. She didn't just have an idea and then turn it over to her people to make decisions. She was just like so hands-on. That's incredible. That's well done you. Well done you. Well done.
She was so hands-on that she put on her Facebook page when they decided to take this from Facebook and YouTube into a whole website just for the project because they had such a reaction to it. She said, I now have a webmaster and 2 other people helping me. She's still working on it, but she said, my wife, Pat, got tired of seeing the back of my head looking at my laptop working on this project. When she wrote about the artists, she took your bio and put it in her own words. And it says, from Janice. So when I read about me and about Judy, it was from my bio, but it was in her words. And that was really cool.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Yeah. I'll shut up about that now, but I have been super excited. Thanks for mentioning it first.
No, that's I feel like I want to be like, you heard it here first. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing to me. And then you've got another announcement, I guess we could say, or you're sharing a little secret.
Yes, I am back in the studio. I had my first official meeting with Keith Ridenauer, who has been my producer and co-writer on some projects, but my producer through almost every project I've done. He's back down here in Florida right now. He's bi-state, stateful. I don't know how you say that. He's in two. He's bi-stateful. He's sometimes in Nashville, which he is right now, and he's sometimes down here in Florida. He has studios in both places.
Oh, fantastic.
So, fortunately for me, he's down here, and we had our first meeting about Nothing But Faith. I played it for him. We were socially distanced in the studio in a little writing room with 2 tables and 2 chairs, and he was so great. He had them socially distanced with a cup of coffee on each table for us, and we did our first session of getting the arrangement and ideas for the song. So next week, when he gets back in town, I hope to be in the studio, and hopefully it won't take too long to get a single out. This will be released as a single.
Oh,
but I have a feeling working with him again is going to get that, because I've written some other things, going to get that bug back in me to want to do a whole album. They'll say album piece, by the way, in the industry.
Yeah.
Even though it's not vinyl, they still technically call it an album. But so that's that. So that was my news.
That's great. So I don't have anything that compares to like to news like that. Like my big news, I woke up happy Sunday morning because I got to watch Saturday Night Live with Adele.
Oh, well, there you go.
I started seeing the clips and everything on my social media, and I was sweating and thinking, oh no, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to see all the clips, it's coming in, and I'll have to watch it all fragmented on YouTube, and some stuff I won't get because it's geo-blocked and it's going to suck. But I woke up Sunday morning and we were able to get it on YouTube and then watch it again later on because it was on regular television here. So that was an absolute treat because I live and die for Adele. Like, it's the only thing that keeps me going,
That's a fun fact about you I didn't know, and I didn't even recognize her little weight. Amazing weight.
Yeah. Well, see what happens when you go through a divorce. You shed all the bad and, start looking after yourself. And she got rid of that dumpy guy, and yeah, she's back on track. So that was my fun fun weekend, and everything else has just been boring. I mean, nothing to mention, nothing good. So
They do
today,
call first 40, the first 35, 40 divorce weight that comes off, 40,000 divorce weight that comes off in anyone's. If you have a little extra, it's good. If you don't, you're in trouble. I have a friend that lost 40 pounds and did not have 40 pounds to lose.
oh good Lord, yeah, no, that's not
Uh,
good.
but it
So
is a good diet tool, unfortunately,
it's the
if you have
truth.
to go through the heartbreak.
I should say, you know what? I did have one other good thing happen this week.
Ooh, yeah.
I got
Right.
Jameson's and I got
Uh,
the Caskmate Stout Edition, and this is whiskey that is finished in craft beer barrels. So it's a little different than the regular Jameson, but it is the one that I got hooked on when we visited the Jameson distillery. So tonight I am having a Jameson and ginger, and that was the first time I had it was at the distillery. Little touch of lime, Jameson and ginger. So I'm happy to be back with that. What do you
that
have,
is
my friend?
official. That's the official Jameson mix they give you, right? Jameson and ginger.
It is the
That,
one that you get upon visiting the distillery. So
it should be a country song, Jameson and ginger. I think that's a good. So I've got my hands on. You've got your hands on the limited edition Jameson, the Maple Knob Creek smoked maple.
oh,
Right.
that
This
makes me really jealous. Really jealous.
the
I'm like
bourbon.
proper jealous.
And this too is 100 proof. I did have
That
it with
is
work today, but I couldn't open it. Thank God, because I couldn't drive in the car with it. But it was a day I could have used it.
but that
But
is like I remember drinking that at your house and thinking this is the bomb. Like it's got the smokiness, the maple. It doesn't. Is that what I was drinking? I was drinking 100 proof. Wow.
100 proof, and
So
then
it was so smooth. It didn't feel like 100 proof.
dangerously smooth. This is what it looks like in the glass.
Dad, it looks like actual syrup.
Yes,
Oh my God. Yeah, that brings back a memory.
it smells like pancakes in the morning without the pancakes.
I know. That's what made it so good.
Theo buddy today, but she doesn't have a head, so she can't
She
drink.
can't drink. She can't smell. Nothing.
Dolly.
She's just gonna bob in approval. So we should let everybody know that today we have who we just spoke of. We have journalist Joanie, your niece, and but I'm going to let her in a second. I see she's sitting there in the lobby. But I just want to mention, like we talked about, like when we had a little bit of news that was worth, sharing. So I saw earlier this week that do you know who the comedian and actress Fortune Feimster is?
I don't know who
No.
that was.
Okay. So she has been on the Mindy Project, Life in Pieces, Champions, and I think she originally started on Chelsea Lately. She was one of the comedians and writers that used to be on the Round Table, and she's so fun. And we had her on the Lesbian Lounge a couple of times. I've seen her live a couple of times. I saw her at Soho Theater in London, and her Netflix special is I think it's called Sweet and Salty, was so funny. I mean, she's just fantastic, from her ice cream dances, to seeing her live. Like every character she plays is just fantastic. But anyways, I just saw that her and her longtime girlfriend got married.
Ah,
They had a huge wedding planned for, I guess, like in the year coming up, but with the notorious RGB passing away and Amy Coathanger Barrett taking over that Supreme Court spot, I think they got really nervous about their rights. So they wanted to go and get it done legal. So they went to big wedding and everything and just had, just did it legally and had a few friends and family. But I'm so happy for her. And her girlfriend is so sweet. She was a school teacher from Chicago, and she moved out to LA to be with Fortune. And so now they're married. So I thought that was great news. So
that's
yeah.
our ride or die, right?
That was
Okay.
it. Fry or pie, ride or die. And that was Joanie's idea. So let's, without further ado, let Joanie in.
All right.
A bing bang boom.
And there she is.
Hi. I don't know what time zone I'm in.
Everything's a little
Hey.
different now because we did our put the clocks back over the weekend. So now there's only
Oh,
4 hours between us, and it's
oh wow.
like I was literally thinking that I was starting the show, because you kept telling me 5 o'clock, and so I'm like, oh, I got till 10, like I'm good. And then I realized it was only 4 hours, and I'm like, dude, it's 9, it's 9. To rush Gemma off upstairs. Go, go.
Oh,
How are you, my love? You look fantastic.
oh, thank you. I'm doing so well. I'm so excited to be on your show. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm okay. It's a little rainy and gloomy and cold, but I expect it. And because I lived in Florida for 150 years of heat, I'm okay with it. Like I really don't mind having to wear a sweatshirt.
Oh, I love that.
Just warm up with
I
a
have the
drink.
air conditioning nice and low so I could wear a sweater.
See?
I sweater too because I thought, it's fall. We're turning our clock
Perfect.
back this weekend, so I love that. I like the
Weekend
extra
coming up.
hour
Yeah, weird.
and I'm getting dark earlier because I
Is it
like.
this weekend? It is. Oh, I always
Yeah,
thought it was.
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, man.
my
That's
I
favorite.
know.
cool.
Year.
So, Joni, we were just talking about you. We referred to you as journalist Joni.
Oh,
Journalist Joni, JD's niece. It was a lot of J's, and
oh,
it's very weird. But that's how I know you, as journalist Joni. But now you're on our team, and you're helping with PR and
yes,
logos and all your juicy contacts and all that kind of stuff. So we're
I
just thrilled to
am.
have you aboard.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be a part of it. I think that you both have some very important things to say, and you are both funny as hell, and you should be, doing what you do and spreading all the good energy you can right now. Is that some whiskey in your glass?
That is a whiskey and ginger. That's a Jameson and
Ooh,
ginger.
I like that.
It's
I've got the maple I
This
found.
this ginger approves.
I know it does feel weird. Jameson and ginger. Jay just said that should be a song. That's funny.
Oh
So,
yeah, that would be a good one.
Joni, you got like a list of accomplishments that's a mile long.
Oh.
Seriously, like talk about some of the amazing interviews you've had the good fortune of yapping to.
Okay. It's funny. My entire life I wanted to be a writer. From the time I was like in third grade, I figured out that I could escape in books, and I wanted to be a writer. I used to type on a typewriter, and then eventually I got a computer, and it kind of just led me to once I got to high school, I was on the school newspaper. Then I got an internship in college with Star Magazine, and that was really where I started going to celebrity parties. And so this was like 2001, I would say. I got hired by Star, which
Oh
was,
my God.
it was like a pinch me moment. And about 2 weeks into the job, they told me, go down to Fort Lauderdale and interview Matt Damon in this house. I had an address written on a piece of paper. It was crazy. I was like, is this real? Am I getting punked? Like, is Matt Damon really going to be there? It turns out Matt Damon was totally there on a couch. He's a very philanthropic guy, a really good person, and he had worked on a film at some point in his life where one of the people at, I don't remember what quite they did on the film, but they didn't have any health insurance and they came down with cancer. And Matt personally came back and did a benefit for this person to pay for their medical bills.
Seriously, you get a feeling about that little
Yeah.
clip, like Matt
Yes.
Damon, George Clooney,
Ben
Brad Pitt, like,
Affleck, right.
the Ocean's 11 guys, like they all seem
Yep.
like, I'm sure that they could be dicks, but I feel like their heart is always in the right place.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And that party that night completely changed my life. The contacts I made that night, I met my friend Linda Marks, I met my friend Sheena Foster, And all of us went on to have, you know, continue our careers in journalism and, you know, have these great celebrity stories. And it just kind of took off from there. So that was really kind of like the catalyst. But throughout my life, I've had this kind of ability. If a celebrity is in the room, I can find them, or I can even sense that they're there. So it's crazy. Like one night we were at Cheesecake Factory in Boca, and I see Adam Sandler. This was a while ago too. I want to say this was like 2000, maybe 2002. And everyone around me is like, that's not Adam Sandler. I'm like, it's totally Adam Sandler. I'm going to go show you. I walk up to him.
Doesn't his now wife, Jackie, right?
Yes, yeah. Her whole
parents,
family lived in Parkland. Now they have a place in Boca. But I was like, oh my God, it's totally him. And it was him. And then I want to say 2 years ago, I was coming out of the mall and I saw him and Jackie in the parking lot at Nordstrom. And they were so nice. I went over and said hello. So cool. I mean,
yeah,
he'll always
he's a
stop,
cool dude. Jackie, my
do
friend,
selfies with fans. Yeah.
my friend, her mom had a hair salon in Coral Springs, and she used to do
Oh,
Jackie's nails.
oh my
So
God, she's the best too. They're
yeah,
the best couple, and I love them. And they're always together, and they're great. And they were just in. He did that hilarious Halloween movie on Netflix,
oh yeah.
Hubie, and she of course has a cameo in the film, and it's brilliant.
I
Yeah, it's a
love them. I
lot of
love their
fun.
dogs. They're big. They're like
I love that movie.
But you know what? She's not afraid to approach the celebrities when you see them out. Like the celebrities really open up to you. Like you have a way of like a camaraderie with them that they want to talk to you even longer than they're supposed to. Like the Joan Jett interview you told me about.
Right, right. I think the trick is just treating them like regular people, which is something that I don't think happens too often, you
Right.
know. And if you approach them like you know, hey, like how's your day going, or you know, what's going on, like, you know, it's all like I think in the approach. And there are some people that I have approached, and you know what, I have a thick skin, so it's like, this is my thing. I'm like, oh, I may never see this person again, so I'll either regret this for the rest of my life that I never walked over and tried to at least say like I'm a fan of your work or something like that, or I just go for it and they reject me and I move on anyway, you know. So that's my attitude. It's like, okay, fine, if you don't want to talk to me. The only person I ever met, I would say that there were two encounters. One of them crushed me. I met Bruce Willis once, and he was not in a good mood that night.
Oh,
So
no.
that was, I sort of died hard a little bit in my soul that night. But I know Bruce is a great guy, and I caught him on an off day. But the other person that I met twice and was so kind of like bummed about was Steven Tyler. I wanted him to be. I'm a huge Aerosmith fan, so you know, just the two nights that I had seen him, he wasn't really into doing press, and you know,
Uh,
so I'll give him a pass. I still love his music, but
that is that's funny. That
Steven,
I
you're
yeah.
out there, you owe me a selfie.
To brag about her little lesbian, her aunt. She has like partied with Lorraine Bracco the from everything from Goodfellas and
Sopranos.
Sopranos and like
Yeah, she's cool.
and she kept her in her. She stayed in her apartment all day, drank her wine, and she ate wine and hung out. Liza Minnelli, she partied with Liza Minnelli and Mia Sorvino and Paul Sorvino, and then she danced with Mickey Rooney. You know, my sister Marianne went with her. I guess she was with you, right, Joanie, on the interview?
Yeah.
That I left.
My car had broken down, and she actually had to drive me to the interview because, like, you know, writers, your car breaks down.
And she said, I went to go park the car and I come back and she's dancing with Mickey Rooney. So it's like
That was impromptu.
that to Mickey Rooney and everybody in between. Liza played at that little theater in the Broward Center. Was it Broward Center?
No, it was actually a BB&T Center. They had they would section it off and have, you know, it was like a more intimate experience with the act, and Liza played there.
Right, it was BB&T. So Marianne,
yeah.
You know, we weren't on the list. So Joanie goes up to the party where Liza was, and then they let us stay in the building or near where we originally walked in or where we were going to find Joanie. So we had to go all the way around the back. We were like the vagrants that were still hanging around there. And so we were waiting outside and we're
So funny. I felt so bad when the elevator went down and you guys weren't. What just happened?
back. But we did see Mia Sorvino. She came down with her baby. She had just had a baby.
Yeah.
And they got in their Hummer limo and went away. And we're just standing there like, what are we? Like, where do we go? What do we do? We're like the unwanted friends of the friendless waiting.
You're always wanted.
The riffraff. She was the little riffraff.
The
Yeah,
riffraff.
Anyway.
Sometimes they get a little crazy with the list, and other times you can just kind of convince them you're on the list, and they also let you in.
Yeah, that all depends on the doorman, doesn't it?
It all depends on the doorman. I was thinking of like the ultimate. So I got to cover the VMAs, the MTV VMAs when those came back to back. Which, if the hurricanes weren't coming, they'd still be doing those down here. But they would do it during hurricane season, and then you can't. It didn't work. So the one thing that I did that I wanted to mention, it was back in, I actually wrote it down because it blew my mind so much. In 2014, right after I had Jack, my first assignment back from maternity leave was the Regal Princess christening. And that was when I want to say like every celebrity who was on a sitcom in the 70s and was still living showed up at the Port Everglades, went on this boat. Gavin McLeod, the whole rest of the cast of The Love Boat, Florence Henderson, Christopher Knight, Doris Roberts, Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company. It was the ship of dreams. I had to kind of, as such a TV addict, go stand in the corner at some point and just catch my breath because everywhere you turned was another celebrity. The guy from Happy Days. It was crazy.
Oh my God. You know what is so weird that you mentioned that because I have a friend, gay guy, Frank DeCaro. He used to have his own show on Out Radio on Sirius XM. And his husband, Jim, is a TV critic. And Jim wrote a book called, it was about the Golden Girls. They just came out like Forever Golden. I don't know. I forget the title of it.
Love it.
He is actively writing a book about the Love Boat and everybody that was like a guest star on it.
Oh, wow.
That was what was the ship, this christening of the ship. Everybody on this boat was a guest on the show. He's unbelievable.
He's always looking. Like he's got a list that he puts out every once in a while on his Facebook of names of people that he wants to get in touch with.
Yeah.
You look at it and you're like, oh my God, I think I remember the actual episode that
crazy.
Charo was on.
Yeah. Charo, she was on the boat. Everybody you could think of guest starred on the Love Boat. I'm telling you, if they were alive, they were on a guest star on the Love Boat.
That is amazing.
That's really funny.
Oh, you've had good people.
Yeah.
Wow, good events, good people.
And you know what? I've also been able to make some dreams come true for some of the family who has people they want to meet. Like she got Melissa Etheridge to wish me a happy birthday.
Yes,
she got
huge.
What else? This, if I could do.
My other aunt wanted to meet Dr. Phil. My uncle wanted to meet Elvira, so.
That's the movie poster from her movie,
and
me. That's why it's hanging in my bedroom. And she got me to meet Greg Brady, Barry Williams. Yes. I got to go and actually take like a picture with him. And who else, Joe? What were you just saying?
My uncle wanted to meet Elvira, so that happened. And then I took you and Marianne to meet Dr. Phil. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I met Martina.
Yeah, she met Martina.
I'm pretty sure she was on her way to the bathroom, and I stopped her. Can I take a picture with you? You were my childhood tennis hero.
Oh, that's so funny. Hey, I'm working on Billie Jean King. I know you want to meet her, so.
Yeah,
that would be.
Day. I wanted to.
I love her. I see her little clip on CNN when I'm watching it, and I just go, 30 seconds of like eloquent, well-spoken, to the point, impactful. I mean, she's amazing.
Love
And I was
it.
like, listen,
Get out there and vote.
I had to request my ballot, which had to be mailed to me here in England.
Oh, wow.
So I had to do that like in September, I think it was. And then I
Wow.
got it. And then I had to
Okay.
fill it out and everything, walk up the high street in the rain to the post office to mail
Wow.
it and make sure that I had plenty of time. So I did that at either the last week of September or I think it was the last week of September. And then like I didn't want to start checking because I knew it was going to take a while to get, like to get over there. So I just started checking like early, not this week, but last week, like earlier in the week, and saw that it was collected and counted. So I was just like, boom, if I could do it from here, anybody in the States can do it. I mean,
right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. If you're walking up High Street in the pouring rain, we have no excuse.
Exactly. I kept thinking like, oh my God, I wouldn't even do this if I was at home. Like I wouldn't.
Right. You want it. It's because you want
Exactly. I want it so bad.
Oh, I love it.
So we got like about 10 minutes left. So why don't we, Joan, what are your go-to questions?
So yeah, actually, I'd like to maybe flip the script a little and ask you guys some questions.
I'm game
for
up for it. Or two. Yeah.
Maybe a question or two, like if you're down with that.
I'm down with that. Yeah, I'm down with it.
One of my favorite things to always ask is, what is something people might be surprised to know about you?
Well, JD was just shocked to find out that I'm an insane Adele fan.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that either.
I only live here with the hopes that I'll bump into her when I'm shopping one day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not really because I love my wife so much. It's just I might walk into and bump into Adele one day.
I love it. I actually want to get you like a sweatshirt made that says, I'm here for Adele.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, we used to go into like a store that I would never shop in just because I heard that she went in there once to get cigarettes. So
I love this so much.
Yeah.
So I'm that way with Cher. I'm obsessed with Cher, and you're obsessed with Adele.
Yeah, it's like a low-key, stalky kind of thing.
I love it.
Low. Like I don't really.
I'm so down with the low-key, stalky. I love that. That's great.
And I'm a Days of Our Lives fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm ashamed to say it, but I am.
That is a guilty pleasure. I do like the Days of Our Lives too. That's probably the best soap.
2 years behind over here.
Are they new ones of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's new ones, but then the old people are still on it from like a million years ago.
Unbelievable. I mean,
the eye patch, I love him.
Like 20 years I lost track of it, and then one day they have this channel over here called the Sony channel where they play all old stuff, and I saw Days of Our Lives and I'm like, oh, that's got to be a movie or something. That can't be like Days of Our Lives. Sure enough, flipped it on, there was Hope, and I was like, are you kidding me? And then Maggie,
they're there.
Roman, John Black. I'm like, I felt like I was in a time warp. Like it was insane. But then I looked at the air date and it was from 2 years ago. So I'm actually getting episodes from 2 years ago now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So
wow, that's a bit of a lag.
Yeah, I can't be reading spoilers because doesn't even add up. Okay, Jay, what's something that like Joanie said? Well, Joanie, you probably know, but what's something listeners may not know about you?
Well, something that most people don't know about me is that I was once a Sunday school teacher years ago, and I worked in corporate America as an accountant at simultaneously the same time. So
that's a whole nother world.
Yes.
I was an accountant / Sunday school teacher before I played music. Not that that took me away from being a Sunday school teacher. It's just that it got a little harder to do playing gigs on a Saturday night and being at church so early on Sunday to teach Sunday school. So prior to playing music professionally, that's something that most people don't know about me. I don't talk about that a lot for some reason.
I am going to put a pin in that, and that is going to be a whole show.
I moved, I was unpacking my mugs and stuff, and one of my students back in the day gave me this little set of 4 Christmas mugs, and that's what reminded me that
Oh,
so I had a friend over, I think it was Judy, and I was unpacking and I'm like, oh, students gave me these. I can't get rid of these. And she's like, students, you know, and then I told her that I was a Sunday school teacher.
Holy moly. That has like seriously lit my feet on fire. I can't even.
Stop that now, Denise.
That blew me away. I watch Days of Our Lives. She's like, I was a Sunday school teacher. Now I'm a rock star. Like,
that's really funny.
My glasses, an accountant slash Sunday school teacher.
oh Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta like get myself back on track here. Joanie, we want you to stay for the time machine memory.
Oh yeah, I'd love to
Because
be
this
part
is-
of that. Okay.
All right, so we came up with this the other day, but because Halloween, right?
Yeah.
The costumes that we wore, and then how our parents would fuck it up because they'd make us put a coat on, right? Or under it or
Love it.
something. That was the first thing that cracked me up. But the second one is, do you remember what your favorite candy was? And then the worst candy, like the one that you would trade with friends.
Oh, totally.
What was your favorite candy?
So back in the 80s, when I would do my trick-or-treating, nerds, like the pink and purple nerds were like the best, right? So everyone wanted the nerds, or like Jolly Ranchers and Blow Pops. Those were like our 80s candies.
Oh, big
And then you would get some like some real messed up, like a caramel chew that would be like not like what, like in
that
a
weird white stuff
nondescript.
in the middle with that weird white.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were. Yeah.
Or God help me, like some cheap bitch that will put like the Starlight Mint, like they stole from the, you know, the restaurant, like
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah, but
worst.
you always
Or
knew,
black licorice.
like, didn't you always know what house was giving away like the apples or the
Yeah.
pennies? Like that
Apple.
was, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
have to say, I got a stapler once from an old broad that had nothing. She didn't even have the crappy Starlight Mints. She put a stapler in my pumpkin. Take this crap out. Can you imagine? This was like 1988. Can you imagine now some parents suing because they put like a stapler?
Oh my God.
I'm like,
I think
you don't have the standard razor in the apple? Like, what's up with you?
right. You just said I don't even have time to push these staples into candy, so I'm just dropping this in your thing. That's hilarious.
The old swing line.
push them in the candy yourself, kid. What happened in the 70s, they used to put the razor blades in the apples, and then we weren't really allowed to put the candy.
Your parents would have to inspect everything before you could do it. You were just waiting to do your piles, you know, like all the Milky Way, all the Snickers, all the things. Like,
We
yeah.
had those masks that were so unsafe at the time. You could barely breathe through them. They were that thick plastic that you
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With just the eyes and the two holes for your nose.
It was cold out, yet you were sweating because your mom made you put your outfit over your coat, which wasn't fun. And then, but my least favorite was the bitter honeys. I did not like bitter honey. And what was the one that, what was his name?
I hated Smarties.
Bart Simpson. What was the one that Bart Simpson?
Butterfinger.
Butterfingers. I didn't like those
Butterfingers
either.
not bad.
So
Butterfingers.
I was more of a Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah, I was more of like anything with chocolate and caramel, and then I'd get rid of like the Smarties that were like those powder pills, whatever that was. Yeah, that's cool. All right, great. That was fun. I like that. That was good. Well, we are down to like less than a minute, so we want to thank Joanie for being with us and let people know that they can ask us questions or leave comments on any one of our social media platforms. Twitter, we're at whiskey_pod. Instagram, we're Whiskey Rock Lounge. Facebook, The Whiskey Rock Lounge. And to email us, whiskeyrocklounge@gmail.com. It's as simple as that. Ladies, this was so fun.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was truly a blast. Thank you.
Really, well, I can't wait. All right, let's reconvene like next week. What do you think, Jay?
I think I'll be here, and so will Dolly.
We'll be
Dolly's Dental
listening.
Group. Excellent. All right, you guys. Peace out.